Hey family, it's Terrence, the Unstoppable Coach Leffridge with Unstoppable Coaching Services. And I thank you for the opportunity to come to speak with you this evening about the construction zone. As you can see, it is a warning sign up because we are under construction. You are under construction. And over these next 30 minutes or so, I'm going to show you how you can demolish your negative mentality, clean up your act, and reconstruct your life and your business. But first and foremost, thank you to Shay and to Trevor and to George Fraser for this speaking opportunity, for this platform of Operation Wow. Just the title by itself is just exhilarating, and it just lets you know that something power-packed is about to happen. And for all the other speakers that have been on before me, I'm sure you did an excellent job, and you've been providing motivation and inspiration to everybody who's watching. I am Terrence Leffridge with Unstoppable Coaching Services, and I've been a certified life coach, Christian life coach, now since 2009. But really, I've been coaching people for most of my adult life. I just didn't know what the title was to go along with it. What I like to do is I like to help you create your vision, implement your vision, and take your vision to the next level, holding you accountable for reaching your dreams and living the life that you want to live. But family, I haven't always been unstoppable. Yes, I have had times in my life where I was devastated, where I was full of negativity, and where I didn't know how to live my life or how to run my business in an effective way. So I want to tell you a little story. I lost my good government job in 2009. Yes, that good government job that just overbroke, that everybody on this call can relate to. I had worked for the government for about 10 years. And when that happened in 2009, I was devastated. And I thought, what happened? I thought I'd be there long enough to earn that nice gold watch that I ended up having to buy myself, and that I would retire with a great pension. Everything was going great up to that point. I was earning decent money. I had just gotten married to my beautiful bride in 2002, and we had bought a nice house. And when my 40th birthday came around, I even bought me a nice little fancy car. I had been investing in real estate, and up till 2008, I was doing pretty well. But then the housing crisis came in 2008, and along with that, so did the health of my only sister start to deteriorate. I found myself juggling my job, juggling helping my sister and her kids, being a loving husband, and continuing to do all of these things at the same time. I had to choose between that job and being there for my sister and her kids that were going through those health challenges at the time. Finally, in 2009, the proverbial ish hit the fan, and I got fired. Now, family, I was angry. I became bitter. I was full of negative thoughts about negative people, about everybody at my job. How could they do this to me? What did I do to deserve what happened? How become helping my family cost me my job? And not only was I mad at the people at the job, I was mad at my God. I was saying to him over and over and over again, where are you? Why am I going through this? Now, family, that bitterness took over, and it carried me for months. But in the back of my mind, I always heard this small voice. And this small voice was telling me something that I hadn't been listening to. But finally, I decided, I knew that I was going to do more with my life. And if I was going to do more with my life, I'd have to shake that negative mentality. I'd have to shake that victim mentality. Yes, family, I felt like I was a victim of my own situation. Now, many of you probably listening to this call have probably felt victimized in your life. Maybe it was an actual criminal act, and if that was the case, I'm sorry. Maybe it was a job loss, like me. Maybe it was a loss of a family member. In any case, a victim mentality carries on long after the victimization is over. We tend to take the negative act and turn it into a perception of everybody and everything around us has caused us to be a victim, and we're going to take it out on them. My life needed to go under a reconstruction. I needed to demolish my negative mentality, my victim mentality, if I was going to get ahead. I needed to clean up my act if I had any hope of being successful in life and in business. And I had to reconstruct my life and reconstruct my business and turn it into the vision that was going on in my head all along. And so those are the three things that I want to share with you today. How you can put your life and your business under construction. Demolish that negative mentality, clean up your act, and reconstruct your life and turn your business into an unstoppable vision created by you for you. So let's start with the first thing. Let's talk about the demolition process. I already gave you a brief idea of what victim mentality is, but a general definition is it's a learned personality trait where the person regards themselves as a victim of others' negative acts in the absence of clear evidence. I didn't have any clear evidence that my job was out to get me or that my job didn't understand what was going on in my life. If from the outside looking in, they probably was just doing their job, doing their duty. I wasn't living up to their expectations, so they fired me. That's the reality. The story that I may have created may have been that they didn't understand what was going on with my family and they didn't care. So they were just trying to get rid of somebody who had become tenured and made money and had been there for 10 years and replace them with some new person off the street that would cost them thousands of dollars less to do the same job. Again, we were talking about the government, but that's my story. What's your story? What have you set up in your mind as your negative mentality, your victim mentality that may be stopping you from moving forward in your life? Whatever it is, you've got to blow that thing up. The only way you are going to move to having unstoppable visions and unstoppable results is to blow up that negative mentality. And I know from the fact, family, that sometimes the victimization cuts deep and it leaves scars. And I know it will be there with you for a long time. But in my story, in the back of my mind, that voice was still saying to me over and over and over again, go do what you want to do. Go do, Terrence, what you were born to do. Go do, Terrence, that thing for which I created you to do. Now, years earlier, I had attended an informal class on life coaching. I had always loved helping people, and I felt that it gave me a good feeling, and it also gave them a good feeling to be able to have someone to listen to them and to give them advice that they could implement and turn into positive actions. People would often tell me that I was also a good listener. So I was intrigued by the class, but I didn't do anything with it at the time. But now, 2009, with the loss of that job, I had the opportunity to give it a try. So that's exactly what I did. In 2009, I went and I got certified as a life coach, and I haven't looked back since. I love what I do. I love working with the clients that I work with. And if you go to my testimonial pages on unstoppablecoaching.com, you'll see that I help my clients and that they get value out of the service that I provide for them. So that's what I needed to demolish. I needed to demolish that negative mentality, and I needed to do something different. What is it in your life that you may need to demolish? Maybe you have thoughts that you can't do a certain thing because you're not good enough. Well, let me tell you, you can, because you are. Maybe you think you have problems with procrastination or accountability. Well, two quick things you can do is take some action now. Whatever it is, just take action right now. And if you're struggling with accountability and a procrastination, get an accountability partner, a coach, a mentor, someone like me who can walk alongside you on your journey to your greatness and to your next level. That's going to help you be more than accountable to yourself. But by being accountable to somebody else, we're more inclined to do the things that we say we're going to do to get the results that we want to get. Maybe you're the person that thinks no always means never. Well, I'm here to tell you right now, and you can put this in the exclusive, elusive Facebook chat room right now, that no equals your next opportunity. I want you to put that in the chat room right now. No equals your next opportunity. That's all it is. The more no's you get, the closer you are getting to your yes. And you know, family, I love acronyms. So if I got an acronym for no, you know I've got an acronym for yes. So here it is. Yes equals your expected success. So the more no's you get, that's just your next opportunity to get to your expected success. And you've got to use that power that's within you. You've got to use all those no's, all those next opportunities to build the success that you want for yourself. So when you blow up that negative mentality, the possibilities are endless to you having your next opportunity to receive the success that you want to receive. So that's the first part, family. You've got to demolish your negative mentality. But then after you do the demolition, in any demolition, there's a lot of stuff left behind that you've got to clean up. So here's the cleanup process. It's time to dig yourself out of the rubble and clean up your space. It's time to build a new foundation based on new blueprints. But first, you got to get rid of some things. What some things you have to get rid of? Well, you know the saying that you can't do the same thing over and over and over again and expect different results. You've got to be willing to change some things. First thing I suggest you change is you change your mind. When I became a coach, I knew I was walking in my purpose. I knew that I no longer needed someone else's job to validate me or to acknowledge the skills and gifts that God had given me. I became confident in who I was and what I was born to do. And so when you change your mind, you can have that same revelation that you are not dictated to, or you are not defined by that job that just overbroke. You can have the power to create the business that you want to create, the way you want to do it, and have the success that you want to have, as long as you believe it first. You got to believe it in the mind before you can do it in the real world. So instead of saying and spending time on who you were, I want you to start thinking about who you can be. So after you change your mind, then you got to change your circle of influence. Those people around you that you associate with, that you hang out with, those may be the people that are keeping you where you are right now. And if that's a place that you like, then God bless you. But if that is not a place that you're happy with, then you need to think about the people that you're associating with. Someone said once that if you show me a broke person, I'll show you a bunch of broke friends. And that's so very true. Are you hanging around people that have no desire to go anywhere but where they are? Then you need to get out of there. Are you going places where you're always the smartest person in the room? then you need to change your address. You want to be in position and around people that stretch you, that allow you and force you to grow. You want to be in situations where you are sometimes uncomfortable, because out of uncomfortableness comes growth. When a seed is planted in the ground, it's planted in dark places. It has no idea what's going on or what's going to happen next. It has no idea when the rain is coming or when it's going to be too hot or when it's going to be too cold. And it's uncomfortable. And what's inside of the seed says that I need to get out. And so when it cracks out of its shell and it digs through the dirt and it rises up to the top, all we see is that beautiful rose that came from that seed. Right now, you are in seed living life, and it's time for you to break out. But you've got to clean up. You've got to move away the dirt so that you can rise above. And changing your circle of influence, putting yourself around people who are where you want to be or who are doing the things that you want to do, that's going to help you bloom into that beautiful rose and have the business that you want to have. So if you are looking to be a life coach, for example, then you need to hang around me or other successful life coaches and model our behavior and do the things that we do and research how we got to where we got to, learning our struggles and learning our successes. If you're trying to start your own business, then you need to research that industry and see what it actually takes to be a part of that business and to be and run a successful business, so that you know up front the dirt that you're going to have to move out of the way in order to be successful. So I've told you about changing your mind, and I've told you about changing your circle of influence. But finally, in order to clean up your act, you're going to have to change your habits. Yes, we have a lot of bad habits, and through this process of you trying to find yourself and go through personal development and go through business development, you've probably learned that you've got a few bad habits that you need to change. Let's see if any of these speak to you. Learn to listen more and talk less. And if you're watching this presentation right now, then you have a desire to want to learn more, and I congratulate you on that. I applaud you for that. And if you've been watching all day, I applaud you for your tenacity, for you wanting to have it more than life itself. But when we listen more and talk less, we learn, and that's important. Number 2, turn off the TV. Many dreams are lost in the idiot box. Invest that time that you use sitting up watching TV or seeing what's happening on the Real Housewives of Atlanta or what's happening on the news, which is mostly negativity, which blends back into your negative mentality. Use that time to invest in yourself and your business. Use that time to research the things you need to research. Use that time to learn social media. Use that time to learn the different tools, like the tools we're using right now to virtually reach the masses online and live and in person. When you use that time to invest in yourself, you are taking yourself to a different place. You are changing your mindset. You are changing your habits, and ultimately, you're going to have the success that you want to have. So you've got to change your mind, you've got to change your circle of influence, and then you've got to change your habits. That way, you are going to be ready for the third phase of this construction process, and that's reconstructing your life or your business. You've blown up that negative mentality, and you've cleaned up your act, changing things in the process. Now it's time to build your life and your business back up. And I'm going to give you some quick tips on how to do that, and then I'm going to get out of the way for the next speaker. Again, I thank you guys for this time that you've allotted me. But what you do in the reconstruction process makes all the difference in the world. So when you're reconstructing your business, you need a blueprint. You need to know where you want to go. You need to know what goes where and when it goes there. And the best way that I can think of to reconstruct your life or to reconstruct your business is what I call the CRM. CRM stands for Finding a Confidence Role Model. A confidence role model is that person, place, or thing that you visualize yourself being one day. By looking at that person, place, or thing and modeling their behavior or doing the things that they do that are obviously successful because they're at a place that you want to be, then you will ultimately become successful as well. Someone who's living the life that you want or doing the things that you want to do, you want to model their behavior. A good example for me is that as a motivational speaker, I always looked up to Martin Luther King Jr. When I was a little kid in school, we would always, during Black History Month, have a speech competition. And I would always want to do one of Dr. Martin Luther King's speeches. I remember watching the old videotape of him from 1963 on the March on Washington when he did his I Have a Dream speech. And I always wanted to have the same inflection that he had when I spoke it. I always wanted to stand and confidently hold the podium like I remember him doing that fateful day. And I always wanted to command the audience that was in front of me. He was so powerful in his speech that I modeled his behavior. And that's what helps me to be the speaker that I am today. Not necessarily on his caliber yet, but reaching for that goal. So whatever it is you're trying to do, find someone who's already doing it and model their behavior. Or better yet, do the second thing, which is hire a coach. That goes back to what we're talking about in investing in yourself. Hire somebody who can teach you the things you need to learn, that's going to accelerate your learning curve. Why go through all the struggles and all the failures that happen in starting a business when you can hire someone who can help you avoid those pitfalls above and beyond, and that they can move you to where you need to be sooner rather than later. One of the things I mentioned, or I failed to mention when I talked about change your habits, was work smarter, not harder. And when you hire a coach like myself, that person is going to help you work smarter, not harder. So we talked about get that confidence role model, and we talked about investing in yourself by hiring a coach. But you may also want to go to different events, like if you are trying to start a business, or say you're a union carpenter or you're a general contractor, then you need to go to events where general contractors hang out and network, pass out your business cards, talk about what it is you're trying to do, maybe even start a joint venture. That way your business is being promoted not by yourself but by somebody else as well. Investing in yourself, working smarter, not harder, is going to help you reconstruct your business and make it what it is you want it to be. And then finally, family, the last thing that I can give you, the last nugget I can give you in reconstructing your life or your business is what my mama used to always tell me as I was growing up. She would say, Terrence, sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it. Put that in the chat room. Fake it till you make it. Hashtag fake it till you make it. Well, Coach Terrence, what do you mean by fake it till you make it? I mean that sometimes you have to walk and talk as if you are the person you already intend to be. When I did my first speaking engagement, nobody really knew who I was. That was good because nobody knew that I had never spoke anywhere else before. It was all in my presentation. I came out there like I was a seasoned veteran, like I had been speaking for years. But inside, I was scared to death. I was uncomfortable. But because I faked it until I made it, because I carried that attitude that said, I am already Mr. Unstoppable, I came out there and I was unstoppable, and I am unstoppable to this day. So whatever it is you want to do, whoever it is you want to be, start walking and talking like that person right now. I want you to say to yourself that you are unstoppable. You can be and you are the person that you've already planned to be, the person you were born to be. I was sitting at a coffee shop waiting to interview a um, a local celebrity here who had just been inducted into the African American Hall of Fame for all her work with women's professional basketball. And I was kind of dressed like I am right now, maybe a little bit more casual because it was Sunday. And out of the blue, this gentleman walked up to me and he said, "You know what? You look like a professional person. You look like a person that is just the right person for this opportunity I want to talk to you about." Now, he was in a multi-level marketing company that I was very familiar with, but it wasn't necessarily for me right now. But that's not the point. The point was because I dressed the part, because I was dressed for success, because I had the air of confidence and professionalism, he offered me an opportunity. And there's that next opportunity, that no again that I was talking to you about. And I was able to not only talk to him, but to talk to his girlfriend, who was also in a company, and it was a new networking opportunity. Just because I faked it till I made it, just because I did the things to show people that I am already the person I am intended to be. And so that's what I want you to do. I want you to be able to feel like you're the person you're already aspiring to be, the person on purpose, the person on task, the person who is living the life of their dreams. You are unstoppable, family. All you've got to do is believe it, demolish that negative mentality, clean up your act, and reconstruct your life to make it the best life ever. Because as I like to say, why would you ever settle for less when you can be unstoppable? That's my time, family. I'm Terrence, the Unstoppable Coach Lethbridge with unstoppablecoaching.com. That's where you can reach me. It's right there on the whiteboard behind me. Sign up now and you can get my free ebooks that talk about unstoppable confidence and unstoppable motivation. All you got to do is go to the homepage at www.unstoppablecoaching.com. And if you're interested in getting private one-on-one coaching from me so that we could help you create your unstoppable vision and give you unstoppable results in 2014 and beyond, go to my website and sign up for my pre-screening. It's a free 30-minute conversation where we'll get to know what it is you're trying to do, what your vision is, help you get laser focused, and move you to the next level of your greatness. Family, I don't want you to just have a great week. I want you to have an unstoppable week. And Shay, Trevor, and George, thank you again for this opportunity. Have a great day.